Luka Dončić, Kristaps Porzingis, Rick Carlisle, and Mark Cuban. The Dallas Mavericks have a core that consists of young star players and a proven coach and owner tandem, so it's easy to say that they are one of the most enviable situations in the league right now. But after seeing the recent history of megastars bolting from teams after their first crack at unrestricted free agency, the Mavericks need to open their championship window as soon as possible. I believe there's one perfect move for them to make to catapult them to championship contender status by the 2021-2022 season. What's up guys, Colin here, back with another video. But before I continue, I just want to give a huge thank you to everyone for all the love and support you showed, especially in that OKC video. That video has way more views than any other video on this channel, and the subscriber count went from about 320 to what I think is almost 500 subs, or maybe it's 500 subs by the time I post this. And honestly, that love and support is making me inspired to really want to continuously make content for you guys, not just whatever type of content, but actually good content. So thank you. Hopefully after this video, I can hit 500 subs and we'll grind together to that 1,000 subscriber mark. With that said, let me get back to the Mavs. The Mavs struck gold when they traded for the right to draft Luka Dončić in 2018. The Wonder Boy, as he's called, is one of the league's brightest young stars and arguably already one of its 10 best players, despite the fact that it was only in February of this year where he turned the legal age to purchase alcohol in the US. On the other hand, Kristaps Porzingis is a high-caliber number 2 option who showed towards the latter part of last season that he's still very much capable of returning to the all-star form he showcased pre-ACL injury. Playing alongside that star duo is a cast of characters that vastly overperformed this season. Tim Hardaway Jr. was supposedly just a throw-in to the Porzingis deal as added cap relief for the Knicks, who were going to free up space to sign some marquee free agents in the 2019 offseason.
The big free agent signing, I wanted to be the first one to get you a Julius Randle jersey. I hope you rock it with pride.
This season, Hardaway Jr. grew from an inefficient gunner to an elite three-point specialist. And speaking of three-point specialists, Seth Curry signed with the Mavs in the 2019 offseason, upped his three-point attempts by nearly 2 per game, and still managed to be number 2 in the league in three-point percentage at 45.3%. And in the front court, both Maxi Kleber and Dwight Powell showed that by hitting jumpers, blocking shots, and working their asses off, they could play effectively alongside Kristaps Porzingis. So by the masterful hand of the 2011 NBA champion coach Rick Carlisle, the Mavs are a legitimate playoff team this season. And don't let the 7th seed standing fool you to thinking that they don't have a chance to win a playoff series this year. At 40-27, the Mavs sit just 2.5 games out of home court advantage in the first round and would have been knocking on the door of 50 wins had the season run its course. They also have the 4th highest net rating in the NBA, behind only the Bucks, Lakers, and Clippers, whom we all know are the 3 biggest title favorites. Perhaps the craziest stat to prove just how good this Mavs team is and can be in the future is that so far, through 67 games, they have posted the highest regular season offensive rating in NBA history. Yeah, not this year, in NBA history. Call it skewed because of the three-point shot or whatever else you want. The fact is, they are beating every team ever, including the 3 happy Warriors and Rockets of the last decade. And just to illustrate why I don't think it's a fluke, the gap between this year's Mavs and the 2nd place 18-19 Warriors is the same as the gap between that Warriors team and the 10th place 94-95 Magic. That's crazy. However, the point of this video isn't to talk about how good the Mavs are now, it's to talk about how they can be better in the future. Because even while there's still plenty of room for Luka and Kristaps to grow, the rest of the team has pretty much hit their ceiling. No matter how good this current rosters of the Mavs may look, they will still need to do something to jump to that contender status, and I can foresee one specific move that would do the trick. But before I get to what exactly I think the Mavs should do, let me first answer the avenue they must take to do it. Teams add talent in 3 ways: the draft, trades, or free agency. While drafting another young piece would be the ideal option in this scenario, the Mavs are already a playoff team, thus out of the lottery. Unless they find a gem in the late first round of this next draft, they'll need to look elsewhere for immediate talent. As for a trade, the Mavs would be the perfect situation for someone like Bradley Beal, CJ McCollum, or Drew Holiday. And they do have several role players whom they could make available for trade. But honestly, any player combination that doesn't involve Luka or Kristaps will likely not net anyone that moves the needle for them. Draft picks would be their best trade chip, but those were probably the most valuable assets that the Knicks were able to pry for Porzingis. The Mavericks can't trade any first rounders until the back half of this decade. That leads me to the third and final option, free agency. The Mavs will not have significant cap space in the 2020 offseason, and that's by design. I touched on the upcoming free agency class a bit in my first video on this channel, so I'll leave a link to that on the screen right now. That free agency class is not that good. But the 2021 free agency class is a completely different story. 8 of the 2020 NBA All-Stars can or will be free agents by then, including arguably 4 of the 5 best players in the league right now in Giannis, LeBron, Kawhi, and Anthony Davis. And in that offseason, the Mavs will be just a minor move or two away from having max cap space. Now, I'm not optimistic that Dallas will get any of those big-time stars. Most of them probably look at the Mavericks and think that it's Luka's team, so they'd much rather go somewhere wherein they can be the clear-cut star or with other stars who've probably already shown that they can take a step back in order to win a championship. The Dallas Mavericks franchise has also never been a free agency destination. They've notoriously chased and failed to acquire other superstar players in the past, and their most high-profile signing lasted less than a week, as the Mavs were on the wrong end of one of the strangest yet most entertaining free agency negotiations in NBA history. Good thing the 2021 free agency class is not only top-heavy, but extremely deep. With all due respect to the great Dirk Nowitzki, I believe the idea of playing with Luka Dončić and betting on his greatness will be an extremely enticing selling point for second or third tier players that the Mavs have never had before. And because the Dallas Mavericks have their lead ball handler and an elite big man already in tow, they should look to slot in their third star on the wings. The Mavs would want someone who can score and shoot the ball within their already historic offense, but who can also add his own elements in as well. They could use a first-class defender to bolster their 17th ranked defense, which should significantly raise their ceiling. And if possible, they'd want an all-star who can also play alongside other star players and is young enough to fit with the timeline of their core pieces. After looking through the available free agents in 2021, I realized that the Mavs need to have their sights set on one man in particular. So in the 2021 offseason, the Dallas Mavericks need to go hard and offer a max deal to Victor Oladipo. Before the Pacers fans click out, I just want to say sorry, but honestly, this is an absolutely amazing move for all parties involved that aren't in Indiana. I was literally Stephen A. Smith crazy when I first started picturing this move.
My God, Lord have mercy. I mean, Lord. I'm sorry, I got distracted. I just started fantasizing right now.
And while Victor Oladipo has played less than 50 games in the last 2 seasons due to a gruesome injury from early in 2019, people may have forgotten just how great of a player he was when he broke out the year before. In the 17-18 season, Oladipo was on the 3rd team All-NBA, had his first of 2 All-Star selections, was the most improved player, and was on the 1st team All-Defense. He finished with averages of 23, 5, and 4, while leading the league in steals at 2.4 per game. But beyond Oladipo's proven skill, it's really his fit on the court that makes him so enticing for Dallas. The Mavs run a pick-and-roll heavy offense between Luka and Kristaps, and this signing gives Carlisle the option to run pick-and-roll through another star. In the 17-18 season, Oladipo was in the top 10 in both points per possession and effective field goal percentage when functioning as the pick-and-roll ball handler. He's capable of attacking the rim, making a pull-up jumper, or making the right pass, and he also allows the Mavs offense to function as close to normal even when Dončić is off the floor. And when they're playing together, they can trade places off the ball because they're both good shooters anyway, or even have Porzingis as the one off the ball and do some quirky 2-man game between between those two guards. But Oladipo's athleticism and what he's able to do on the court because of it is what will make the Mavs a more dynamic team. In the 17-18 season, Oladipo ranked 7th in transition possessions per game and shot an effective field goal percentage of 65.8%. Of those in the top 20 of transition possessions per game in that season, only LeBron James shot a higher effective field goal percentage. Dipo also uses his athleticism to do strong cuts while off the ball. Because Sabonis was a good passing big in Indiana, Victor would occasionally cut baseline and expect to be fed while on the move. Porzingis may be no Jokic in passing the ball, but he's a decent passing big that would benefit from playing with the most athletic slasher he's had in his career. And of course, defensively, Oladipo will slot right in as the lead perimeter defender. He will not only make their defense better, but will put much less pressure on Luka on that side of the ball as well. The only real question mark on Oladipo is whether he can make a full recovery from his ruptured quad. He's played just 13 games so far this year and has averaged 13, 3, and 3 while shooting 39% from the field and 30% from downtown. But Oladipo still has another year to try to return to his old form and will sign his next deal at age 29. He should be young enough to make a full recovery, and the Mavs will then have him locked in right around the last prime years of his career. So if the Mavs want to focus on one feasible move that would grant them title status even before the first year of Luka's rookie contract extension, signing Victor Oladipo is the optimal move to make. In the 2021-2022 season, a trio of Luka Dončić, Kristaps Porzingis, and Victor Oladipo would no doubt be one of the best teams in the NBA. And 10 years after their first NBA title, the Dallas Mavericks will be title contenders once again. Hey guys, thank you for watching this video. Leave a comment down below what you think about the Mavs possibly getting Victor Oladipo. I hope you could also leave a like and do click that subscribe button if you have not yet. It really means a lot. And if you want to see a similar video on the Oklahoma City Thunder, you can click the box on the screen right now. I'll catch you guys in the comments of any of these videos, and I'll see you soon.